What's up guys, welcome back for another YgoPro duel video. Next match, Cross-Banlist Cup, an important match for both decks here, equal in points, so the winner of this duel will move on to the top 16 playoffs as second place after the Dragon Ruler variant here. First deck list is of course OCG Toadally Awesome / Treatoad Heroes, very nice extra deck of course with the Wind Hero, the Stratos in the main deck of course. Yeah, the small downside of only one Shadow Mist in the main deck, but still a very strong deck list. Second deck we have Windups, post, was it the 2012 ban list, I believe so. With, yeah, you know, the Windup Shocklock, only ones and mighty, but access to Shockmaster and still tons of back row. So very crucial which deck that opens up the duel, since both decks are heavily somewhat helmet based decks. So setting up their first turn is very, very crucial. Let's hop into the first duel. Alright, first game, and I think I get to start. Heroes get to start. This is a good hand. The Treasure's Trapple, the Call of the Hounded, Book of Moon, double Cyclone, and immediately hero this for two options, either Stratos or Shadow Mist. I opt to go for Shadow Mist, option to go for Dark Law, and get a search during my opponent's turn, and Shadow Mist just searches out the Stratos, which eventually can search out the Bubble Man, etc, etc. I don't think he goes for the search here with the Wind-Up Factory, so I blast him away with the Treasure's Trapple, banish both monsters, but he can follow it up with a second copy of yeah, I believe it's indeed the second copy of Wind-Up Shark, and here it's somewhat a pain that I didn't set the Book of Moon, but again, the Wind-Up decklist does have access to Heavy Storm, so yeah, you don't want to set your whole hand and eventually lose to the Heavy Storm, right? Go for Castell to get a search and eventually end with Bahamut Shark and Totally Awesome during main phase 2. So in full control of the duel with the Cyclone set and the kept Book of Moon in my hand, which is now also set. So this game is for me and phase a Cyclone away and eventually attack with everything for a game. Somewhat expected, yeah, heroes starting out the duel, so they definitely had the advantage. The second game, the opponent gets to start. It's a good start, immediately opening up Tour Guide, the one card rank 3 exceed with the Wind-Up Factory equals a double searches during his turn and during my turn. So eventually he already has Magician Shark in his hand, 2 back rows, which is of course very, very nice. A Typhoon as well, so he's pretty much set to go. He does use Compulse on the Shadow Mist to probably force out the Mass Change here. Bottomless Trapple does miss timing, so he's not able to use Bottomless on the Anki Summon. During the battle phase, still use Mass Change, and there is a Bottomless, and I think I'm forced to use the third copy. It's indeed the third copy of Mass Change indeed, since having Dark Law and both the Rafflesia on the field is very, very strong. Although Dark Hole must be nice, ripping the Dark Hole, and I probably should have used Treasure's Trapple on the chain of his Wind-Up Rabbit, but I already was in my, you know, I was already thinking about game 3, already gave up this game, since we knew his hand, right? We knew of the Magician, both Magician Shark, and I believe double Shark indeed, because of the Wind-Up activation, the Wind-Up Rabbit activation and search. So he's eventually, yeah, if he doesn't fuck up, he can attack for a game over 8,000 points of damage. So the also important game number 3, I get to start, so I have the advantage. That's good, that's a decent hand. E-call immediately for, I believe, the Shadow Mist, yeah, because of the Desires, search, the Mass Change, since I do have the option to possibly go for Dark Law depending on my back row, but eventually went for Rafflesia indeed. Again, the slight chance if the opponent has multiple spell and trap destruction, and I only have like the useless Dark Law on the field, the Wind-Up deck can easily get rid of that. So that's why I went for Rafflesia, but somewhat sacrificing the search of Shadow Mist if he, you know, doesn't, or at least, yeah, if I can't use Rafflesia's effect. Zen Mains was a good option, I believe. Did not really expect the Gorso attack into Gors, there it is. But still I'm in a decent position with the Dark Hole set, and I believe the Mass Change set as well. So use Mass Change to special summon Divine Wind. Divine Wind is excellent. I believe when it's face up, your opponent can only attack with one monster, so here I think my Rafflesia should not have been able to destroy, of being destroyed by battle, but yeah, the Divine Wind is also not Yeah, it can also not be destroyed by battle. Anyway, so get the draw off of the Divine Winds, Destruction by battle effect, and then go for Acid to RP Spheroduster my opponent for a second time, so I'm in a very good position. Although he does update into the, what's it called, Compulsory indeed, he goes for Wind Up Zen Mighty for that, and eventually he goes for, I believe, Acid Golem. Risky move, since you know Acid Golem prevents yourself from, from special summoning monsters, but I see where he's going to. Using the compulse on the Divine Winds is again, the Divine Wind cannot be destroyed by battle, and then he would have had 2 beat sticks on board, both the Zen Mighty and the risky Acid Golem, you know, to deal at least deal massive damage during his turn. But then again, very risky move, detaching during his standby phase every time, and you know, when Acid Golem doesn't have any materials, yeah, eventually you can't detach, so you will lose 2000 life points. So he's basically on a time bomb, and this should be game for me, but it does top deck into like a useless Book of Moon. Okay, he can still survive 1 turn, but it's not going to matter. His judgment is not going to save him, and Acid Golem is sitting at a nice 3000 defense, and during his semi phase now he's going to lose the game. But yeah, I'm not really sure if it mattered if he went for something else like Leviathan or maybe Zen main, since he was very low on life points, and I always had the option to get rid of Zen main, so I think it was just a matter of time that eventually he would lose in the next couple of turns. Didn't really matter which exceed he made when he had the option before. So yeah, Heroes, somewhat expected, but Heroes move on to the top 16 playoffs as well. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out.